Hello all, welcome to today's class and I'm Vanaja KS, your tutor from Government First Grade College, Kunigal. Today we shall be discussing on the lesson Stri Purusha Tulana in detail, which has been written by Tarabai Shinde. In the previous class, we have discussed on the introductory part of this lesson and this is the session number 14. Stri Purusha Tulana, a comparison of men and women, which is addressed to all the men, raises many questions about the unjust practices prevalent in the society which leads to subjugation of women. Some of the criticisms she made during her times hold true even today. Tarabai's work was more of a reaction to the circumstances around her in a severe manner. In the beginning of the essay, Tarabai Shinde directly questions even the Almighty, who is supposed to be omnipotent and freely accessible to all, is said to be completely impartial. He has created both men and women and granted happiness only to men and branded women with nothing but agony with which the poor women have had to suffer for it down the ages. Tarabashindi asked one question that fueled a fire in the hearts of women, one that nobody dared to ask openly. But do men not suffer from the same flaws that women are supposed to have? It is a belief in the Indian society that women are greedy, liars, unvirtuous, and they always seduce men. Woman is considered and labeled as a symbol of all bad qualities as she has listed theft, incest, murder, robbery, deception, truth to falsehood, and falsehood to the truth. Do men not do any of these? Asked Shinde to men. A woman is claimed for knowing the art of witchcraft or black magic. Tarabai says that the men are endowed with an intellect far more powerful than the women, with which they accomplish valiant deeds and made possible what was believed to be impossible. Tarabai Shinde promoted the cause of education and firmly believed that education would help the girls face the circumstances around them. The women are considered as a whirlpool of suspicion as they are uneducated and all kinds of doubts inhabit their minds. Their suspicions are usually and necessarily about their own relationship. But the men's minds are full of all kinds of treacherous plans. She quotes, "This is, of course, not to say that all women in the world are as luminous as the sun and as pure as the waters of the holy Ganges." Unquote. Nearly 10% of women are caught in the whirlpool of such insidious perfidies or cunning and deceitful acts. Tarabai Shinde refused to accept the superiority of men in gender relation. She said, "What's good for a man ought to be good for the woman as well." Tarabai found the privileges enjoyed by men because of the degradation of women. Tarabai talks of women being called the acme of impudence, that is, shamelessness. And she says a judicious comparison would reveal the balance weighted far heavier on the men's side in this respect. Women are considered a megapolis of inadvertent acts, but Shinde calls the men as dastardly, perfidious, that is, untrustworthy, treacherous people. She agreed that a woman also has vices, but everywhere and every time she is judged on the basis of vices, but the virtues are completely neglected. Tarabai Shinde said that due to the lack of education, the women are as stupid as buffaloes in the cow pen. But that does not mean God has not granted them even an iota of intelligence. They are far preferable to men who are considered as the bastions of erudition and wisdom. She asked in a very fairy language why the prisons are packed fully with such wise men. She said, "Everyone there has a wise head on his shoulders and a wise deed to his credit." She challenges the men to show the women prisoners in such big number. The greatest crime committed by the woman, according to men, is adultery. Tarabai Shinde defends the woman, saying, however shameless a woman may be, she will never throw herself into the arms of a strange man. She argues that women should have husbands of their choice in order to prevent adultery. Tarabai Shinde mentions that a woman's idea of happiness is a husband of her choice. She will endure any calamity for him. She will suffer hunger or thirst and put up with any harassment for the sake of the man she loves. She comments on how, without understanding a woman's choice and her needs, she is married off and is thrown into unwelcoming situations which are not because of poverty or misery but due to lack of love. Tarabai mentions how, as per the Shastras, if a king dies without leaving a son who could inherit the kingdom, she can select a sage and beget sons from him in order to augment the family and questions this convenient changing of rules as and when required. Tarabai remarks that such acts are also a kind of adultery which our Shastras has sanctioned. Tarabai says instead of sanctioning such licenses, widow remarriages could have been encouraged. Tarabai says that the women are charged as extremely mean minded and shallow. But she defends them and says that the women never waste their lives trying to achieve things impossible as men do. Another charge against women that she strongly argues against is their supposed transgressions. It is the fate of the women who are married off to old husbands. In blatantly calling out the patriarchy for what it is, she is unapologetic in breaking standards of womanhood. To conclude, Tara Shinde was unashamed in her allegations against the men around her, causing the stir when she published her book Stri Tulana, and she was condemned by many social reformers. In the public realm, only Jyotiba Phule voiced his support for Tarabai Shinde and her thoughts. He authored an elaborate defense of her work in the magazine Satsa. He praised her courageous and original attempt in expressing her views. Tarabai uses robust, powerful, and vital language throughout her book Stri Tulana. I hope that you have understood the lesson thoroughly and enjoyed it. Thank you all.